Last year, Americans paid $15 billion for the use of toll roads. By 2030, we'll pay $75 billion in toll transactions. Today's toll collection payment systems are based on inefficient and legacy designs. We're bringing an elegant solution to simplify and modernize the complexity of legacy toll system software, and today can offer access to these transactions to you through one simple API. I'm John. This is Glenn. In our 40 years of experience in the electronic toll business, we've founded and led companies with technology platforms that have helped to transform the North American toll market. We're now changing the way the toll industry processes transaction payments. We're excited to present a solution that will reduce the marginal cost of toll transactions to near zero. Today, we are offering financial institutions, application developers, and online mobile banking providers access to our API. Leveraging our deep toll industry background, we are currently expanding our solution to provide coverage countrywide by mid-2018, addressing regional interoperability and allowing users to pay tolls from coast to coast. To validate our API, our company BancPass developed our PToll or phone toll app. PToll leverages our API's capabilities to enable users to pay for tolling, parking, and quick service restaurant transactions through our patented smartphone photo-based license plate registration solution. Glenn, let's go ahead and demonstrate how PToll leverages our API.
Thanks, John. Excuse me. Good morning, Finovate. So what I'm going to demonstrate today is the app. Hopefully we demonstrate the functionality of the API. The first step is I'm going to demonstrate how to sign in on the app. In this case, I'm going to sign in with Google. And then I have to select a payment mechanism. For the demonstration, I'm going to use PayPal. Now, since this is actually my real PayPal account, if you don't mind, I'm going to slide this down to log in.
Good idea, Glenn.
Now, although we're using PayPal, we can fund with any account that codes to our API. So we're also familiar with the core processors technologies for interfacing that allows us to have access to the consumer's checking account, their deposit accounts, while avoiding the high cost of the commercial rails. Now I'm going to select and agree, continue. And now the system asks me for a name. I'm going to be creative and call it PayPal. Now the next step is to take an image of the back of the vehicle. And I'm going to be creative again, and I'm going to call this car. And I add the vehicle. So now you're signed up. But let's say you need to rent a car, and you want to be able to and it's for business, and you want to be able to put it on the corporate account. Well, we have the ability to add vehicles. In this case, we're going to add a rental car. Now, if you guys rent vehicles in areas with tolls, or you've been following the local news, you're probably familiar with the high fees that the rental car companies tack onto the tolls. PToll is an alternative to that. PToll allows you to pay tolls directly to the toll authority, avoiding the rental car companies and the fees that the rental car company charges. So we're going to call this rental. Okay, and so we got a rental car in there. Now let's say it's a rental car, so we don't want to have it go against my personal account. I merely go to the vehicle, select Add New, and I can put a corporate card on here, so all the tolls for this vehicle, all the charges for this vehicle go to that corporate card. So although the API allows us to process transactions at near zero cost, the application actually implements a 15% service fee. And even though we have a service fee, we have incredible customer loyalty. Our average utilization per month for people that are signed up is 13 transactions a month, which is about 60% higher than the average toll agency. In fact, we have users that use the system over 100 times a month on a consistent basis. So I'm going to log out here, and I'm going to log back in with my personal account, and once again, I'm going to move away from the... So this is actually my personal account. These transactions are from my mom when she came to visit me. And if I select one of these transactions, I can actually see on a map where the transaction occurred. I can see the date and time of the transaction and the amount of the transaction. I can also go to the menu and I can select vehicles, and I can see all the vehicles that are on my account and how they're set up for payment. And finally, the API implements a messaging system. This allows us to communicate with consumers if there's an issue with their account, if there's an issue with a transaction or another customer service issue. So hopefully that demonstrates what the API is capable of. I'll hand it back to you, John.
Thanks, Glenn. Let us summarize. Americans paid $15 billion last year for toll transactions, and that'll be a 5 times increase by 2030. We believe we've tamed the complexity of legacy tolling system software, and today can offer access to these transactions through our simple API. PToll is currently deployed and in revenue service, and will be coast to coast by mid-2018. If you're an FI or an FI application developer looking to capture some of the $15 billion per year currently in tolling transactions, come by and see us at our booth. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.